Hi everyone, welcome along on this lovely sunny afternoon. And I've been asked a question about taps. It may seem like a silly question to some of you, but which way do I turn the tap to get cold water out? I know it seems strange, doesn't it? Which way do I turn it to get hot water? Because some of you, it seems, are getting a little bit confused and I can understand why. So let's take a greater look at this topic, shall we? Traditionally, of course, you used to have two separate taps some years back, but we've gone over to mixers more or less all the time now. And it was simple back then, hot on the left, cold on the right. We all knew what we were doing, but not with these mixers now. Here then, a set of very conventional mixers these days, and it's not just a case of turning them left or right, is it, like this and that. You've also got to lift this thing up, pull the lever up like so to get the water out, which is fine. But is it hot that way or is it hot that way? Now this gets a bit tricky when it's coming on the side like that. I suppose you've got to look at the tap. If it was round that way, it would still be hot left, cold right. But what happens these days is that the towels use flexes on them now, and people get them muddled up with the inlet coming pipe. So now you find that people have got it round this way as hot and this way as cold. So you go to different houses and find that they're completely all different. And even hotels and everywhere I've been, you still have to kind of find your way around to get which way is hot and cold just by running it for a little while. Also, of course, quite naturally, there's no indicator to say which direction is hot and which is cold. There's no little dots in there. There's only a little cap on the back of there. That's just to get to access to take the top off, but there's no actual indicator anymore like we used to get on our old taps. Okay, our other tap in another bathroom, leaky old thing, and it's got some kind of indicator up there with a little red dot right and blue left, but that's all we've got on it to tell us if it's the right way round to turn it, which is okay if you're down on your knees like I'm at the minute. But when you're up here looking down at the tap, it's of very little use, isn't it? So you're still at the mercy of however it may have been plumbed, whether the hot is on the left or the right. Now, just to make matters completely worse, we have one of these waterfall taps getting on a bit now, and Jan once completely filled the bath with cold water. Forgot to check which way round it was, and we had a complete bath flow. This was a few years ago when you could afford the water bill, of course, but these days it's never used. It's just an article that sits there. But once again, there's no indicator on there, left, right, hot, cold. I know that the actual hot is on the left. It's that way, and there we go. And I know the cold is on the right that way, but that's because I plumbed it in and I know which way it is. But if you was a stranger and you didn't know, well, you don't know, do you? So I guess the only other way of telling is by pressure. The cold is usually more pressure than the hot, but with a Combi it's not quite the case. It can be much the same. Look at that. I've got a Combi, so it doesn't quite relate to that nowadays, because the Combi pressure's got a lot better than it ever used to be. If it's a hot from the tank in the loft on an F&E system, then yes, it will be notably slower. The cold will be fast and the hot will be slow, and you can tell straight away what's happening. But in some houses that have a roof tank in the loft, in the bathrooms up first floor, some of the cold taps, the cold basin and bath and probably the cistern, will be fed from the roof tank. So in actual fact the pressures would be exactly the same in that case. So you're not completely safe. So the last thing I want to say about taps now really is that, what about if you've got children with you at home, or indeed, as I say, you could have foreign visitors or whatever, people new to our country that wouldn't know about these, and you get up in the night or whatever you want to drink in the day and turn a tap on and you've took a cupful of hot water. It's not actually hot because you've just run it out the tap straight away, so it still feels cold, but it's not going to be any good to you whatsoever, is it, drinking hot water with all the germs that entails. Now, I did do a video last time out about the inner coil of a hot water tank on an F&E system being holed, and meaning that sometimes the radiator water, the black sludge in that system, can actually mix with the tank water, and you could be drawing that off and drinking that stuff. I know it's rare, but it's still bad to be drinking roof tank water up in the loft that's going down through a cylinder and through here. So it's not quite so bad. If you've got a Combi and you're drinking the hot water, it's still not good because it is coming off the mains, which is better. And you'd soon know with a Combi because it would get hot fairly quick, so you'd turn it off. But it's just something that I've sort of thought about actually, that it's quite dodgy, these taps, not knowing which way they're going for children, and as I say, and people that come around country and wouldn't know plumbing at all. So there we are on this lovely sunny day, the end of May. And good question. I think the old taps enjoyed doing that one. It's not easy if you don't know. And that goes for anything in this world, doesn't it? Okay, all my stuff, you know where to go. Derek and 33. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.